What are you doing?
Playing Splatoon.
You're not supposed to be doing that.
Fuck you. I want to be a squid.
No, you're a kid.
No, I'm a squid.
You have to film your
no,
video.
I'm a squid!
You have to film
Fuck
your
you,
video.
I'm a squid.
No, you're a kid. I'm the squid. I'm dead squid.
Yeah.
Go film your video.
At least I'm not a dead squid.
Geeks of the Week!
Hey guys, welcome back to your regularly scheduled Wednesday on Geeks of the Week. I'm Lulu, and I'm in full pajama mode today, because I am still recovering from 2 cons, 2 weekends in a row. We're not going to talk about PCC because it was pretty freaking rough, so let's talk about fun things. I actually have 2 very big things to review. One thing that I completely forgot that I never even talked about, so it's a bit overdue, and another thing that just came out last week that I'm super excited about. So, the first thing I need to review is Marvel's Daredevil on Netflix. I don't remember if Mario finished it or not, so I will do my best to keep it spoiler-free for his sake. This was my introduction to Daredevil as a character. I never saw the Ben Affleck movie since I was blissfully uninterested in superhero movies back in the early 2000s when they all sucked really hard. I definitely think this was to my advantage because I came in with no expectations, no expectations of like how the character should be portrayed and things like that. All I'd heard was that it was really good, and I was really intrigued to see what Netflix would do with the superhero genre. And I will be totally blunt, I fucking loved it. I really didn't think I would enjoy it as much as I did. I just thought like it would be a cool thing to watch, but I was hooked almost immediately. It actually wasn't because of the man himself, Matt Murdock. I do like him as a character. I find him more complex out of the mask than in it, kind of how I really like Bruce Banner, but I don't really care about the Hulk, if that makes any sense at all. To me it does. Really, the star of the show to me is Wilson Fisk, the villain of the show. His set of morals and the way he carries himself and presents himself was just really, really fascinating to me. Technically, he's the villain, but I wouldn't say that he's evil. He just absolutely believes that the end justifies the means, and he has the same end as Matt, which makes him a really good foil. They both went through similar traumas as kids, and they both want the same thing, so it's interesting to see how they both go about trying to get what they want. My only minor complaint is that for much of the series, it doesn't really feel like a superhero show, which didn't bother me that much, but I had some friends who didn't like it for that reason. They said it felt more like a crime drama, which I can kind of understand, but to me, I knew it was supposed to be a superhero show, so I knew it was kind of going to go that way. But it did have a lot of overlapping and separate storylines that all trace back to like crime bosses and people involved with Fisk, so I can understand why I felt that way. But I think it's kind of a good thing because it can make it more palatable to people who aren't really into Thunder Gods and Angry Green Dudes. It's more of a sort of like introductory superhero show. And I always like the super gritty superhero stuff, which is why I love series like Watchmen. I really like seeing how superheroes can exist in the real world. And with Matt Murdock, he doesn't really have any special superhuman powers, which to me makes him really super cool. In any case, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I forgot to mention that my favorite character is actually Wesley, because he's the best. But I eagerly binge-watched this over the course of a few days, and I kind of wish I could go back and just re-experience the whole thing again for the first time, because it was just that cool. And honestly, I cannot wait for another season. I'm really excited, and I hope that this means Netflix and Marvel are going to partner up for some even cooler stuff. The other thing I will be reviewing is a game that I've been weirdly excited for several months, as have many of you, I think, and that game is, of course, Splatoon. We have the amiibos. We're cool. I'm one of those Nintendo apologists that doesn't mind that they keep returning to the same franchises, but from the get-go, I love the look and the feel and the concept of Splatoon, and I was really excited for something new and something fun, so I was really excited to check it out. And so far, I haven't been that disappointed. I will say that if, like me, you don't play first-person shooters a lot, or at all, because I don't play them at all, you will struggle with the controls a bit, and that honestly put me off from the game a little bit in the beginning. But I still, even though I was doing horribly, I still found myself having fun. It's just that kind of game. Also, a pro tip from me to you, again, if you're like me and you don't play first-person shooters, play with the paint roller as much as possible because it will make it way more fun because you don't have to aim and you can just steamroll over everybody and it's great. But yeah, the soundtrack and the maps are really, really fun and cool, so that makes online play, which is the big focus of the game, really fun and exciting. And like I said, even if you suck at the game, just the whole thing, I can't explain it. It's still fun even when you're doing horribly, unlike other games like League and League. Of course, the game isn't perfect. I have two big complaints. The first is that if you're like me and you're sharing the console with, say, your boyfriend, you have to switch off and take turns. There's not a great option for playing together, which is something I really like doing with my boyfriend and with my friends, but there's not really a good way to do that except for online mode, which requires multiple consoles. You can only play 2 players to a console in the Battle Dojo, which is kind of lame because I don't know anybody who really uses that, and I don't know, I would just rather be able to do it like online, like everything else. My second complaint is the story mode, for a weird reason. I actually like the story mode. Apparently that's an unpopular opinion, but I like it because it's a useful tool for newblets like me to get used to the controls and how the game functions, because it's actually way harder playing the story mode than playing it in online mode, but it doesn't matter if you suck because no one else is depending on you. However, I hate that they didn't tell you that story mode was a thing from the get-go. I thought you could only go straight from the tutorial to online mode, which made me a little bit frustrated because I didn't really have a way to cut my teeth. But then I found out about story mode, so I grinded on that a little bit, and things went a lot better after that. However, it drives me insane that whatever weapons you get in story mode aren't available to you in online play, and vice versa. Each mode even has its own currency, so that doesn't overlap either. And I hate this because, like, I play in one mode and I get used to that weapon, and then I switch over to the other mode where I forget that I have another set of weapons, and so it's really hard to be a little bit consistent with your training unless you're really paying attention, which I'm not. I understand that a lot of things are the way they are because they want people to play online, that's what they're really pushing you to do, but I don't have to like that they want me to play online all the time. I also worry what happens when the game isn't new and exciting and everybody's getting it for the first time and playing the heck out of it, and what happens when it's a few months from now or even a few weeks from now when online players get harder to find. I just hope that Nintendo can, to borrow a colloquialism from the game, continue to keep things fresh. So far, the game has a lot of incentives to keep you coming back every day, but I just don't feel like this is going to be a big community or a big thing like League or World of Warcraft, where people really play it on a daily basis. Still, I'm completely and utterly addicted. The world is so much fun. It's really cool to see, like, this sea creature themed, super brightly colored version of Tokyo, and I'm totally loving it. Totally addicted, so I am going to enjoy this for as long as I can. And that's probably what I'm going to go do right now. So, see you guys next week. Stay geeky. Squirt a lot of ink. That sounds bad.